and the Jacksonville Jaguars. With that, we head up to Jacksonville for the Jags home opener. To bring it to you, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, any Florida resident will tell you that afternoon pop-up showers and storms are the norm, and that's exactly what we have right now. Actually expecting a pretty steady rain throughout today here in Jacksonville at TIAA Bank Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
This is it. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, the former Maryland Terp.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The start less than ideal as they already face a 2nd and long. Here's Watson. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return, and it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory.
Set. 15 line. 15 line. 22 jet bombers. 22 jet bombers. Now.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Nicholson. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Fournette running right. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on second down, Nicholson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they will score a pick 6 for the Texans TD. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field.
Set 30 base.
Rip right.
Ready.
Throwing after the interception, Nicholson. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Well, 6-round picks, they don't normally step in and start on day one, that's for sure. But over the years, we've had some big names from that spot.
And obviously, Tom Brady, the biggest name of all, is a 6th-rounder, but there have been others. Antonio Brown, who's played some of the best receiver in the game. Alfred Morris, and I can tell you a quick one on Alfred Morris.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. On second and 9, Watson completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That catch good for 5. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long?
And this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Telvin Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers. Because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them. And that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers, to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Ready. 10 Tucson. Hey, Charlie.
Pick your game up. 51, Mike. Mike 51.
Hit it.
On first and 10, Nicholson. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. The numbers for him from a week ago. 4 catches, 124 yards.
And in the preseason, I thought he was primed for a big, big year. And week 1 did absolutely nothing to diminish those expectations.
The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They have a first and 10 at the 13-yard line. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Alex Collins. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
64, weak.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, this is Collins. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Sanders' kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Let's go.
Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving.
It's a foot race. The 40. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. Matt Breida. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Flipper.
On 2nd down now. It's Collins. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Collins. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Bravo.
Mike 51. Mike 51.
Ready.
Looking to throw. Nicholson. And James has it. Now he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. After one, a 14-3 ball game. 2nd quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Check 50. Check 50.
Blue draw Corker. Go.
Operating from the gun. Nicholson. That's complete. It's Collins. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. On second down, it's Collins. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. Let's go, D.
Back to throw. Nicholson toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He has not had the start to this game that he envisions here in the second quarter. He's struggling a little bit. But, hey, they're in the lead right now. So kind of what's going on in his head, do you think, Charles?
I think that's what he has to keep in mind.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And it's a huge return as he brings us all the way back down to the 15-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Ready?
They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards the pickup, first down. You know they'd love nothing more than to get a 3-and-out here after having the interception.
And it also tells you a little bit about how they feel about their leader, right? Their quarterback throws an interception in the previous series. They're trying to help him out here with a big stand.
Rock it. Go. Check. Hustle, huck now.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys have cut the lead down to 2.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
It worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Deshaun Watson of the Texans offense trot back out there. He's completed 4 passes so far in this game. The issue is 2 of them have been to the guys in the wrong colored jersey.
So I'd say there's a little bit of clouded vision, right? Sometimes he sees clearly, sometimes he doesn't. I know on the sideline they'll be going over things and talk about what the coverages are and what they're seeing. So you used to look at the snapshots. Now you look at the Microsoft Surface Pro. He's got to analyze what he's seeing and be more accurate with the ball.
From the 27, Watson. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. The sack there by Rasheem Green.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast and a big sack. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. On the return, it's James. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Our first update now from Nashville. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Mike 35, Mike 35. I know he ain't got it. 35's the Mike. Bound to lose one. Let's go.
Looking to throw. Nicholson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Give him 30 yards there. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Record. 51 to Mike.
Hurry. Ready.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Finds his tight end Oliver here outright. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2nd and 6. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson, it's complete to Fuller. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Now Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. An effective 7-yard third down conversion. On first down, here's Breida.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
This is it. 15. Check back 15. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
On first and 10, Watson. And he's going to have the hook up to QT. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
We got this.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Watson and the offense going to come up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Out of the gun, Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his first touchdown of the new season, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Throwing on first down, Nicholson. And he fires one incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better than it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Ready up.
55 to Mike.
Hey, Alpha.
55 to Mike. Let's go. Mike 55. Mike 55. Mike 55. Hey, tighten down. There you go. Watch the ship.
Hey, lock it.
Watch the ship. Watch the
Head up.
On first down, Nicholson. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's first and 10.
Mike 55. Mike 55.
Deep river.
From the gun, Nicholson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10.
I'm scared.
Now.
Throwing again, Nicholson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And the first half was not kind to him, and he knows that. 3 interceptions, but still tied, so kind of a clean slate.
I'd say it's a reprieve because ordinarily you throw 3 interceptions, your team should be behind. So he has to be thinking to himself, okay, I'm off the hook for that one. I have to play better for my team here in the second half.
11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Fournette. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 47. Out of the gun, this is Collins. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
2nd and 4. Over the middle, complete. That's Collins. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Well, he's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
On 2nd down now. It's Collins. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Alex Collins. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as his guys are able to regain the lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And the Jags with 5 in the secondary now on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Josh Allen in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap. So to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Now it's Breida. He'll have a first down past the 40. And nothing but here, middle of the field.
How about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Let's go, boy. Bring it up.
The Jags and Leonard Fournette making their way onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Nicholson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 34. Offense just continues to reign supreme. Big plays, both sides, back and forth. Tough to keep track of.
It certainly is, and I'm over here just marveling at what I'm seeing. It's tough for you, though. You got to call all these big plays and have all this emotion each time they go at each other.
Caught here by Conley. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Back to throw. Nicholson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Chris Conley, his first touchdown of the new season as they have taken the lead.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and they will take a 7-point lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
They'll set up a screen for Breida. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. On first down, Watson. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Josh Allen able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Watson off play action, and he's going to go down again. Josh Allen getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Josh Allen, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Nicholson, and he slings one that's incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Let him know, let him know.
Protein spill. Hey, Charlie.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's out of bounds, but not before a big pickup that time on what's going to wind up being the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. A run there on first down, and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, Haywood.
2nd and 5. And that is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Watch the twist, watch the twist.
Ready.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's out to his running back, Fournette. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. D.D. Westbrook, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Sanders on for the extra point.
I think it's easy to say mission accomplished on that drive. The goal was to increase the lead. They did exactly that.
And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw, Watson. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. Open man is QT, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Watson, that's caught. It's Thomas. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Jordan Thomas, his first touchdown of the new season as his guys are back within a single score. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
We play to win. Let's go.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, but now it'll be 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Bravo!
Right here, guys. Fight 51. Mike 51.
Now Foles. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. So the situation very simple here. Late game, down 7. They've got to get it in the end zone.
And the best players know how to be calm in these situations because you know right now his pulse is like a jackhammer. So how does he rein it in, make sure the team has a little bit of calm, coupled with that sense of urgency.
Touchdown, Houston! George Kittle, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
And out now comes Jackson. As they get ready to go. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Foles. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack. And huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and long. Foles. He's got the hook up with Conley. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
High 7.
Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. 51's the mic. 51's the mic.
Here we go.
Foles. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Good stuff. Keep doing that.
So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Out of the shotgun, Breida. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
I like it. I like the call. Still an opportunity to run the football and chew up a little more time off the clock.
They run again with Breida. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. On third down, a run from Breida. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a big one coming here for Ka'imi Fairbairn. This for the lead in the final stages. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Foles and the Jags down by a field goal, a minute 8 to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. First down now, but that clock rolling. He's back to throw. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have him looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go, baby. Mike 51. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. The 20. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And his kick is indeed good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball comes free, I can lose the game here. If I get to overtime, I can still win it.
Let's see if they are in line with Charles Davis. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37. As overtime wears on, something to keep in mind, it is hot down there on the field.
And if we think it's a sauna, what are they feeling down there? And this is where both teams find out about their strength and conditioning program. All the work they put into it to get to this moment, and did the guys follow the mantra of hydrating ahead of time so they're ready to go right now.
And he completes it to Westbrook. A little dinking and dunking that they're doing. At some point, is it appropriate to maybe take a shot?
It is if you feel good about it. But otherwise, you do what a coach told me a long time ago. Take what they give you, but make them tackle. In other words, get it to one of your guys in space. If you make someone miss, that could turn into the big play you're looking for.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Well, I know you're toward the middle of the field here, but still, 4th down this distance, you got to punt it right.
That's definitely the first instinct, because you say, okay, let's just play some field position, make sure we don't lose the game here, turn it over in a key spot. But if you feel really good about your trigger guy, if you feel great about him, you might want to leave the ball in his hands and let him work his magic.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye, Mike Daniels. In for the sack.
We're going to keep getting sacks. He's set. 19. Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again.
They run with Breida. And an alley to run. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game.